Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to our Friday Q&A. So let's just get everyone in the room. I always say this, I am not going to give you financial advice. I'm literally going to try and just share my knowledge, my experience, my skills, and my mistakes so that you too can avoid them. And with that, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. So it's 6 o'clock in the morning here. If anyone's feeling sorry for themselves on a Friday morning, then I'm in Atlanta and I was going to bed last night and I've had a hectic week of live meetings here, plus running the mastermind at 2 a.m. in the morning. And I literally last night was in bed at about 10:30 and I was like, oh, it's so awesome. Tomorrow I don't have any meetings. I'll just sleep until like 10, 11 and re-get my energy back. And then I was literally in bed. I'd already set my alarms. And then I was like, oh, wait, no, we have the FAQ at 12 o'clock, which is 6 o'clock South Africa, 6 a.m. Atlanta time. So anyway, we are here and welcome to everyone. And for those of you who haven't been part of an FAQ, Shane and myself have been talking about this for a while. We've done them while we ran Wealth Going Global, and we did them when we do the challenge. And our philosophy is that we want to be a digital platform with a human heart. And there's so many questions that people come through and ask and everything else. And we actually said to ourselves, why don't we just make it a regular thing online at lunchtime on a Friday? If you're in Atlanta, you can get up at 6 a.m. If you're in Australia, you can watch us with a glass of wine. And but the bottom line is, just engage to be able to ask questions. So I'm going to live in the moment. I'm in an Airbnb in Atlanta, and I don't come with any kind of pre-planned plan when we do the Q&A. So this is all about engagement. It's about asking anything you want, and yeah, we're here to help. So my question to you is, and I can see that we've got a bunch of familiar faces. So welcome to all you. Lovely to see all of you. And yeah, I'd love to know how I can help. What questions would you like me to answer? Um, I've got an interesting story to tell you about Clem, but I want to see if anyone's got any questions before we go there. So we had an FAQ and no one has any questions. Oh, this could be interesting.
Scott, I've got one for you.
Fire, Gavin.
Um, can you comment a little bit more on the school platform? I remember stumbling across it in one of your webinars, but I just wanted to learn a bit more about that offering and the affiliate side of that, where we could potentially help.
Cool. Hang on, my alarm's going off. 2 seconds. Sorry. I switched my alarm off to wake up and it's on repeat for some reason. Okay. So what I want to start off with school, Gavin, is a couple of things. So do you know of a guy called Alex Hormozy?
Yes.
Okay. So,
Listened to a lot of stuff. Yeah.
pardon?
I've listened to a lot of his stuff. Really
Okay.
good stuff. Mm.
Yeah, no. So I've had the privilege of learning from him, from Shane. And so just for everyone else that hasn't seen it, let me just show you something here quickly. So I'm taking you behind the scenes here, if you don't mind. But so this guy, Alex Hormozy, he's a young guy. I mean, I think he's in his early 30s. At 25, he was bankrupt. And it's in his early 30s, his portfolio of companies worth over, about $1 billion. And he invested $100 million in this platform called School. And it's basically an like a community engagement learning environment. It's got all the gamification and everything in between. So if you look here, and I mean, just an example, this is free. So this is a little tool that we're sharing with you if you're interested. But you can go in and you can actually see here that they've got the school games and it teaches you how to use school and everything else. But the part that I wanted to show you, which I thought was interesting, was this is how much people are making in monthly recurring revenue. And this is like a leaderboard. And this is current, like right now. So I mean, this guy made $11,000 in the last 24 hours. But I mean, for this month, he's making $39,000, $32,000, $31,000, $29,000, literally a month. And if you go all time, this team Forex, so Forex for Women, is making $167,000 a month. Okay. So I kind of wanted to start there to start off with, Gavin, because when Shane first shared this with me, I was like, these are actually phenomenal numbers that people are earning per month on every month ongoing in terms of recurring revenue. So they've built out the system to enable this engagement. And if you go here, you'll see they've got the community, they've got the classroom, they've got the calendar, they've got members, they've got the leaderboard that I've just shown you, and they've got affiliates. Okay. So I'm the only reason I'm showing you, Gavin, I'm showing you their one because my logic in life is always to be what's best practice. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah.
So what Shane's done for us is he's built out the Wealth University that is effectively our free area, and we've built it the same way. So we've got the community, we've got the classroom. So you can see there that he's put in the diversification challenge, Clem Santa, the e-wealth pack, the investor roadmap, and creating lasting change. So we're trying to actually offer a hell of a lot of value for free if people are in here. Then we've got the calendar, we've got the members, we've got the leaderboard. So that's pretty cool as well. And we were talking about it, and please, this is kind of a behind the scenes thing. So you guys need to realize that when I talk about stuff, it might not be built yet. So this is a good example. So what Shane and I were talking about was actually gamifying this, that if people are incentivized and they do certain courses, and if they share it with a certain number of friends, they'll go up different levels. But once they KYC onto the Wealth Migrate platform, they'll also go up a certain number of levels. And what we actually wanted to do was almost create an environment where we might even gift. I don't know if you do or don't remember, but we used to give vouchers out to people to actually use the platform. But
Yep.
it never worked. It was a horrendous strategy because we'd give $100 vouchers away and people wouldn't use it. Like literally, it was ridiculous. Like 99% of people would not use the voucher. So our logic is rather like you would give, and nowadays because the minimum investment's only $10, you could literally make it $10, but people would have to go through a certain amount of levels. So we're still building this out. Like this, you can see Shane's already tried, but there's a lot more to it that we want to put in. There's the about section, which is just kind of all about it. And then I don't know the answer, and that's why my partner Shane is here, because we don't have an affiliate link. So Shane, what is the reason why does Alex have it and we don't?
Yes. So the affiliate feature specific for individual communities is currently in the pipeline by the school team. They're busy building that out. So hopefully that's coming this year. Otherwise, it'll be early next year. And that will allow the ability for someone like you, Gavin, for example, just to send people to the Wealth University and track it and all the rest. So it's coming from their side. Like we've tried to build our sort of external thing, but there's like a step in between, which makes it harder. So like if you, for example, refer somebody to the Clem Santa and then they come into the Wealth University from that, we need to just bridge the gap, but we can track on like the event side, but we need to bridge the gap on the school side. So it's just a work in progress.
We do have first promoter. I don't know if you've seen that, Kevin.
I haven't, no.
Shane, would you mind just showing first promoter again? I mean, we're talking about it. We might as well
Yes.
finish the loop.
Okay, just give me a moment to open it up.
And Thomas has just come up. I like his picture, and it's earn an extra income. Ask me how. So we're showing you and asking you, Thomas, because Shane's showing you how to make an extra income.
Thomas is on my case almost daily regarding the affiliates. So he's keeping me in mind.
Oh, I'm glad I'm being useful. I'm adding value, guys. I'm adding value. Yeah. So I don't know. Do you want me to explain what I'm trying to do?
No, Thomas, let's just go. Let Shane. Are you going to share screen? Let's just let Shane finish the train of thought that Gavin was asking, please.
Sure.
I need to just log in, Scott. So give me a moment.
So just while he's doing that, I'm going to keep sharing my screen. So then to answer your question, Gavin, what we did, hang on. Yes, you get so used to working off two screens that when you're working off one screen, you can't bloody find your way around anything. Okay, so what we've done, so this is our free community. And then what we've done is we've started the Wealth Hacker community. Okay, and the idea is to try and copy the Netflix of like Netflix, basically. So Wealth Going Global was the course that we've got, which we sold for $497, and Asset Mastery was so that's all the information. Then Asset Mastery was all about my partners, and that, people bought for 1,997. But what we wanted to do was to put it behind a paid for wall, and people can actually pay monthly for it, and they can kind of go through it. And again, just a personal story so that people understand why. Like I had quite a big personal relationship challenge earlier this year, and I kind of was watching this podcast from this lady and watching YouTube, and I was really enjoying her. And then she had a 7-day free trial to go into her university. Um, I can even show you actually. In fact, I'm going to quickly. This is I would highly recommend this lady, by the way. Personal development school. And so there was this free trial into here, and sign in, come on. So I go in here for my 7 days, and I'm like everyone else, it costs $67 a month, but like everyone else, I'm like, oh, I'll just check it out for 7 days. Well, I was blown away by everything that was in here, all the different courses that were available, etc. And then like for me, this is the type of person I am, anxious, preoccupied to secure. There's all these programs, and then I click on like this thing, and there's all these programs, and it's like 30 hours of training. And long story short, like I'm still paying $67 a month. So she got me hook, line, and sinker. And I don't tell that in a negative way. It's because she's actually adding massive value in terms of the process. So for me, we went, well, why don't we, sorry, what are you guys seeing now? You're sharing screen, but I don't know what you're seeing.
I'm seeing your school.
Oh, so anyway, so what Shane and Alex and I said, well, why don't we try and do the same thing? So we've got the community, like a paid for community, but then people can talk about wealth going global. They can talk about asset mastery. I mean, this is brand new. We literally launched it 3 weeks ago. We got the classroom. So you got wealth going global, you got asset mastery, Tim Santa, the calendar, the leaderboards, etc. But that's effectively a paid for community. And just by the way, we've just recorded the wealth weekend. So we had David Lipschitz taking people through generational wealth. We had the Enneagram and wealth. We had Garth Wellman on the 6 mega trends of investing. So all of those will now become paid for, like courses in the paid for area. And then finally, we've got the private wealth global, which is for our mastermind members. And this is exclusive, just for the mastermind members. So I don't know, Gavin, if that shows you the ecosystem, but
Yeah.
I'd love to change it there.
I'll go have a look and have a play around. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. I mean, even down to the Wealth Hacker, we were considering and are considering, because we've built the courses, and actually for us as a business, it's in our interest for more people to do the courses, if that makes sense. So we were thinking, even with the Wealth Hacker thing, if people refer enough friends or whatever, we've got to figure out something, but they could actually qualify for the Wealth Hacker without spending the first month or something. I don't know, something along those lines, or get 6 months free or 3 months free or whatever,
Yeah.
Yeah, so just to show you what I'm sharing here, so it's just like a demo account. What happens is once you sign up as an affiliate, you'll get an account like this. This is what it'll look like for you. There's obviously like an agreement that you'll need to sign digitally. That's also fine. And then once you get in here, you'll get a unique link. So this, at the moment, we've just got like the challenge and Clem Santo. So Clem Santo is actually done now, so we can remove that one. Basically, all our events you could promote. So you just need to add this to any of our events, to the ones that we promote. But let me just show you like the challenge, for example. You see, it'll bring up the challenge with this link, and that'll track it. Now, the disconnect that we have at the moment is because school runs in their own platform, and there isn't a lot of flexibility for outside development. It's very difficult for us to track, or for other people to refer people into those systems. So what we're doing is we're saying to affiliates, promote the events with your code, and at our events, we always promote in the school groups in any case, and then we will sort of manually cross-reference them afterwards to see who actually has joined the school groups, but who did they come from originally via first promoter. So that's how we do it.
Shane, is there no way to to use the link school.com/Wealth University and then put it in as one of those events, or is it because they don't sign up that you can't track it?
Yeah, there's no tracking ability on there as yet. So that is coming. Schools building their own affiliate system, and that'll all be working eventually. But they said end of this year, beginning of next year, that's when it's coming.
Cool.
Perfect. Awesome. Yeah, Gavin, great question. Because I think, one of the things I stood on stage this weekend and all the guys were talking about two things. One is it's a very good way for people to build passive income, as in you can refer people to it and actually build nice passive income. And the second thing is obviously for us, it really, from a business perspective, also works because people are out in their networks, etc. So it's very much a win-win kind of solution, which is why Shane's trying to track it all in terms of the process. Cool. What else can we help with? So I'll tell you a story. Last Friday, so Clem Hunter presented last Thursday night, and then we did the FAQ. Was anyone here in the FAQ? So I can't remember who was all in. Anyone in the FAQ?
From Clem Hunter, yes, I was there.
Okay, cool. Archie said she was yes. I saw a finger there from Craig. Well, I'd like to ask all of you. My opinion, and I'd like to know if you share my opinion, was that when Clem does the flags, the scenarios, and the probabilities, like I could give you a 3-page Word document, which he sent me before, and it's all there, and it's actually quite nice. It's easy to understand. Like I basically said to him, if I only had an hour with you, I would much rather have the FAQ hour than the presentation hour, because anyone can read the Word doc, and anyone could even just watch a recording. But when we did the FAQ, I find it amazing because he's actually very good at talking when just asked any question, and you actually get much more valuable insights. So Craig and Archie, I'd love to know. And so I didn't know whose voice. Thomas, I'm not sure if it was you. I don't know who it was, but the voice out of the darkness. But the point being is that I don't know if you guys would share my sentiment with that. That I found the FAQ more valuable than the presentation of the probabilities and the flags, because I literally had read them. Like it was almost like word for word what I'd read on the Word doc. I'd love to know if people share my thoughts.
Yes, Scott, I'm happy to share. I actually found both sessions really valuable because that was the first time I'd heard Clem speak.
Yeah.
And it was the first time I'd heard about the flags as well. So, that was really good. But yeah, I agree. I think the opportunity to ask questions was really invaluable as well. And it was nice that we had such a breadth of questions as well. So, yeah, so.
Awesome. Thank you, Archie. Anyone else?
Yeah, Scott. Yeah, Scott, I must say, I think him doing the personal answering of your questions for those who actually posed questions made it a lot more personal and a lot more relatable, because you're being answered to what you were actually asking. So yeah, that last hour with just Clem answering the questions to me was worth a lot more money and time and effort than just the general sharing of the flags. Even though I've heard the flags before, but I think his personal answering questions I had personally proposed was great to get that kind of personal answering back. So that was a lot of value for me. Thank you.
Awesome. There were 98 questions. It was one of the harder Q&As I've ever run, because the problem with our system is that they're just top to bottom, and there is another system called, what the hell's that? What's that thing called, Shane, where it can vote? Pardon? Slido, where it can like vote questions up and whatever. But in this case, so I was just trying, there's no ways we could go through all the questions. So anyway, Thomas, what was your thoughts?
My thoughts would say actually it would have been awesome to get that document as a pre-recorded that you can watch and have 2 hours of spending time with Clem and actually get his wisdom and understanding with the questions, because as you say, it's simple to understand this is what's happening, that's a flag, or no, this is happening, that's not a flag. That's a simple, thing to understand, and anybody can read it. But having those questions and actually understands how he thinks and his wisdom and how he actually creates a trend from all the things, that's very valuable for us, going into this investment journey, because, there are things that are happen and you've got to understand, okay, you almost come to a point where say, what would Clem do? And if you understand his methodology better, which I gleaned so much more from the questions and answers that we heard from him, quote unquote, being on the spot, you can actually glean and say, oh, hang on, you're thinking like this. Oh, okay, yes, that makes more sense, because it kind of interprets these things for you in a very simplistic way. And that 1000% is more valuable than, the one pager, so as to say.
Yeah, no. Okay. Well, I think everyone's probably in agreement then from what I'm hearing. So fast forward to Friday morning, and I was talking to Alex before I left for Joburg, and I was like, in my opinion, what would work really well is if we could email, and Thomas, I'm literally not stealing what you just said. I said, if we could email the Word document out, people could watch the recording, because for like at least a year, the recording's the same thing, of the scenarios if they want to watch it. And then imagine if we could jump on every 3 months and like have a curated Q&A where we could actually, ask questions, probably be, a bit more prepared, have questions curated, whatever. And anyway, we're like, yeah, wow, that would be amazing. I'm driving to the airport in George. I get this call from Clem, and he goes, oh, my wife's bridge mate was on the session, and she really enjoyed the beginning part, but she most enjoyed the FAQ section. And you talk a lot about collaboration I talk a lot about collaboration and talking about how we create engagement and whatever. And like, I've never actually done one of those like live FAQs like you did. And maybe we should do them every 3 months. I was like, wow.
Awesome.
Like, how's that for the universe? So I was like, Clem, brilliant idea. Can you give me the dates? So anyway,
that'll be awesome value add, especially, from a wealth hacker ethos that you're trying to create. I mean, that's just, wow.
Yeah.
It's the serendipitous things are just magic, as they're saying.
Yeah, well, I just thought I'd tell that story because it's still like, I still am a bit like freaked out by it, actually, if you consider. It's like one of those classic things, if you've ever learned about sales or being a parent, it's always better if someone else comes up with the idea. So it's like, what a brilliant idea. Anyway, Ian, you asked about Paul. Where's it gone now? I saw it somewhere. Yeah. What's your opinion on Paul Mahoney and the course he offers regarding social media? So this is an interesting one. So Paul as a person is amazing. There's a couple of people here that are part of the mastermind, and Paul actually presented on Wednesday to our mastermind members. I actually spent the weekend with him. I mean, I went for dinner with him on Saturday night and whatever. So for someone who's hugely successful, he's very humble. When I said, because I actually joked with my son, and I said, my son goes to a little school called Oak Hill, and you must understand, so these were some of the biggest kind of public speakers in the world, like that have stood on some of the biggest stages. And I joked with my son and I said, I'm like an Oak Hill rugby player, and these guys are all like the Springboks. And my son wrote back to me and said, no, Daddy, you're the Springbok, they're the Oak Hill rugby players. So it was quite sweet from his perspective. But Paul really is one of the Springboks. And he actually said to me, like, he couldn't watch my presentation, but he was like, no problem, I'll watch your presentation, I'll help you choreograph it and get better, etc. So the reason I'm telling you the personal story stuff, Ian, is I really like Paul as a person. Okay, like, I think he's got a lot of integrity, from what I can tell. I mean, as I said, I've had a bit of time with him, and more than most, the one thing I've learned about speakers, often they talk a good story on the front line, but they don't live in authenticity behind the scenes, whereas he really does. So that's my first comment. My second comment, in terms of being a social media course and the social media income, I'm not 100% sure. Like, I haven't done it myself. We actually presented a course, an opportunity to the mastermind members on Wednesday, because they've all been asking about how to empower their children with money. So he's got 2 programs, one for children from the ages of 7 to 13 about how to make money. And then another one from 14 to like 17, 18, 19. And then obviously he's got the adult version in terms of it. And I'm going to, if I can, I'm actually going to go to the live event in Cape Town on it's like the 20th, 21st of October. I don't know exactly what dates are. Because I'm really intrigued by what he does. But I can't, I can endorse the person, but I can't endorse the course because I don't know. I haven't done it myself. Like, if that makes sense. So, but my assumption would be, based on all the people that were on the stage and speaking and everything else, Paul would probably be the most authentic one, if that makes sense. I don't know if that answered your question. Oh, there we are. Archie said there, I did Paul's social media mastery course in 2018-19 and was very good. So, yeah. Archie's done every course. Archie, you should run a what would we call it now? But basically a grading, like, when you go like a tourism grading council, Archie should be the course grading council. Archie's grading council, because she's done every course from every person in the world, and then she can grade them all. Like, what do you think, Archie?
That is so funny, Scott, because you're not the first person that's actually mentioned that to me, because I think I've done virtually every property course going, sort of, loads of stuff with Tony Robbins as well, and others. So yes. No, but just going back to Paul's course, it's excellent. It's really, really good. But it's just that was obviously before, ChatGPT and everything. So I think with technology moving on, I don't know how relevant that course would be now. And also if Paul has actually updated it since then. And also, I never actually put it into practice. It was something that I was really curious about. So I did it more out of general interest as opposed to actually wanting to monetize it.
Yeah, look, I think if I know Paul well enough, I mean, he would have definitely kept with the times in terms of updating it. He's got a whole group of facilitators and everything else. So, I mean, like, ChatGPT is incredible. What did we do recently? Oh, Shane. So we launching like a whole bunch of genres, so like farmers and wealth, golfers and wealth, women and wealth, whatever. And we were trying to teach people how to come up with their messages and whatever. And one of our farmers, Derek, literally had just written a story, and Shane put it in a framework, and then he said, ChatGPT, like, create the framework, and then he said, create the landing page. Then he said, create the first 3 emails. And then he said, create the first 3 social media posts. They're like phenomenal. Like, the entire marketing plan was built in front of people live in, I don't know, Shane, 2 minutes. It was unbelievable. So yeah, I don't know, Ian, if that helps, I can say one thing at a personal level, and I don't know exactly what you're looking for, Ian, but for me, even this weekend, just being around like-minded people has like just lifted my soul and my spirit completely. 2 weeks ago, Archie and I were together with the mastermind people, and there were, I don't know, Archie, 30, 35 of us, and people coming and going. So about 30 on average, 30, 35. And it's lit me up, So I mean, one of the reasons I'm thinking of going to Cape Town is for the same reason. It's actually just to spend time in a real room with people versus just sitting on Zoom all the time. Right. What else can I help with? What else is happening?
Just a question from my side, Scott. Any chance or possibility to have your presentation loaded up into Wealth Hackers?
Which presentation?
That's the one question. The one that you did for Summits, Success Summit. And then,
yeah,
the reason why I'm asking is that at the moment the success summits are all live. They're not being streamed online, I believe, because I tried to see if I could watch it from Cape Town this weekend past, but I couldn't. There was no live feed, so I take it's only live events. So it would be kind of awesome to see your presentation in there. That's the one question. And then the other question I've got relating to Paul with his youth programs. the possibility of, doing a joint venture and having those youth programs perhaps listed in Wealth Hackers, because obviously it's going to appeal to a lot of our youngsters.
Yeah, I would just need to ask Paul's permission. So I've just asked Saj. They did promise to send me the recording. So I haven't got it yet, but I've asked.
I've got it, Scott, so I can
Okay.
share it. Yeah, I have emailed it out to everybody who registered it as well.
But is that when you say, are you saying the presentation from the weekend, the Saturday presentation?
Oh, sorry, I misunderstood that.
Yeah, you're talking about
Apologies.
the recording from the webinar I did.
Yes, correct.
So anyway, so I've asked Saj for that. So he did promise to give it to me. And funny enough, Paul, as I've already said to you, said he would help me kind of choreograph it, because these people are wizards. Like, they've done it for, I mean, I think Paul's been doing this since 2009. That was the first time I've been on stage since 2000, since in 5 years actually. So I was like, dude, help me. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing with the children and stuff, I see no reason why not. I'll just speak to Paul as to how to do that. But I know that his passion and purpose is to, obviously get the message out there and for people to use the tools. And he's also got an affiliate model where it's quite a good way to make good money, actually, if you're wanting to promote it. So yeah. Does that help?
No, that'll be very awesome. Great way to actually expand the reach of Wealth Hackers.
Yeah. No, so I'll definitely I'll ask him. I'll just actually make a note of all the things I need to do today. Okay. What else can I help with? What about the deals at the moment? The new deals on the platform, are they making sense to people?
Scott, I've got a question about the deals.
Yep.
Do we, we get a discount being mastermind members. So is there a separate way to go on to Wealth Migrate through the mastermind so that we get the 50% discount on? I'm just wondering how, because I haven't actually done any deals yet on Wealth Migrate.
Yeah, so on so the way we've agreed it with Calio is that the way they normally work with their private equity team is that the exact same fee structures are emulated with the Calio private equity team on Private Wealth Global. So Private Wealth Global being the sort of the high-end brand. So hang on, let me show you here quickly. So it's the exact same platform, as in if you've already signed up on Wealth Migrate, it'll be the same logins and all that. It's the same KYC, same everything. But the difference is, and I'm answering a question here, Archie. Oh, what's going on?
Because I'm interested in the CarryFit opportunity. So I'm just wondering how to sort of invest in that. So through Wealth Migrate, or I go through this route then. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, what's it doing? It's having a wobble with me. Oh, there it is. So you'll see on the Private Wealth Global. So what we agreed, they said the minimum investment needed to be $50,000. So I don't know why the internet's so slow today. But anyway, on the Private Wealth Global, the minimum investment is $50,000. And on the Wealth Migrate platform, the minimum investment it's normally $100. But because we were doing the stuff on the weekend, I dropped it to $10. But you can see here the minimum investment is 50,000.
Right. Okay.
There's that process.
Yeah.
And then Wealth Migrate. So basically what we've done is living up to our core values of or purpose of empowering everybody to invest like the top 1%. They can go to Wealth Migrate and invest with a lower amount, but a slightly higher fee structure, because obviously proportionally the costs, there's still a cost to structures, if that makes sense. So it's a proportional thing.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
then on the Private Wealth Global, there's a lower fee structure, which is exactly the same as Calio Private Equity. And the logic was, if Garth or Anthony or someone was sitting, if you guys don't know who they are, they're the Calio team, and they want to tell someone to go into CarryFit or Germany or whatever, they don't want any, what's the word called? conflict between telling people to go directly to Calio Private Equity versus going through the platform. So what we agreed with them was the exact same structure through Private Wealth Global.
Okay, brilliant. And then the link, Scott, is that in the, where can I find that link? Is it on school?
Yeah, good question, Shane. Would you mind just putting it on school? I think that'd be a good place to put it on. But it's just, I mean, so basically just privatewealthglobal.com.
Yeah, okay, brilliant. Thanks very much.
No problem. Thanks for asking the question. It makes everyone realize there's a bigger ecosystem out there that I'm forced to now have to show everyone, which is great. Cool. What else can I help with? Deals are great. Have invested in both. So thank you, Ian. Like the diversification aspect of the deals. I want to kind of go to Eugene's point on this, because this was one of the things that I was super grateful for, but also proud of. So I literally did this live on Saturday. It's one of the reasons we don't have a recording, because I was going to have my phone and record myself doing the presentation, just because I knew these oaks take forever to give you the recordings. But I couldn't, because I had to stream off my phone because the internet in the room was so useless. Sorry, the internet here doesn't look so great because it's taking a while to load these things. Anyway, let's just let it load up. There it is. But what I find amazing is, like, you've got a private equity deal in London with a high kind of capital growth potential, but quite a low income potential, and a 5-year deal. You've got a debt deal in Austin, Texas, which is, high in income, but no capital growth, and it's a 3-year deal. You've got a Phoenix industrial deal, which is a blend between income and capital growth. And then you've got a German mixed use deal, which again is a blend between income and growth. So if you look at this, if we take our principles of diversifying across countries, currencies, assets, partners, and time, we've got 3 different countries, 3 different currencies, 4 different assets, like different types of assets, 4 different partners, and different timeframes. And I literally did it live on stage. I invested in 3 of them. So I invested in England, America, and Europe. And if you funded your wallet, I mean, you can do the whole thing in 60 seconds. And I'm pretty proud of the team for that, because that's been our dream. I mean, no one can turn to me now and say they can't diversify. I'm like, no, you can. There it is. So I don't know. It's just me that gets excited. No one else gets excited. I think, Shane's heard me say that so many times. I think people don't understand, and I don't mean to be horrible, but I'm sitting here in Atlanta, and not even 10 years ago, I was flying 10 people over here. We would come for, 12 days. We'd go and open bank accounts. We'd go set up structures. Then we'd drive around. We'd look at 50 houses. Then you would buy one of those houses. Then you'd have a management agent. Then every month you had to manage the rent. And when the bloody toilets broke, you had to pay for them to be fixed. And, at the end of the year, you had to do all your financial accounting, which cost $2,000, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And unless you've been through all that pain, you don't understand the like what I'm showing people. I'm sorry to say it. Like, I don't know how it's really hard to explain the difference between it.
No, what you've done is brilliant, Scott.
Not me. I'm just the talker. As Alex calls me, I'm the dancing monkey. I'm the dancing monkey on stage. It's the people like Shane and Mercer and all the, Werner and all the tech people that are phenomenal. But I think, it's not, I'm not asking for a pat on the back. It's just for people like Gavin. I mean, there's a couple of shareholders that have been, it's been a long, hard road, a lot longer than I would have expected. But it's a reality. It's literally there. People, can use it, and it just excites me that we really do truly have that diversification we talk about,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and as Gavin says, it's crazy good. The masses need to see and know. I hear you, and I mean that's what we're trying. Well, there's 2 parts to it. I'm glad we started off with the affiliate part, because we are doing our best to kind of let people know about it. But equally, any help would be welcome. And one of the things I enjoyed from the weekend was there were 4 speakers, Paul being one of them, John Lee, and 2 other ones, Darren. I forget both their names, but they both saw it and they were like, "Wow, this is really cool. Like, you should come and present with me around the world, and you should, I want to share this with my community and all that." So I need to try and bed that down. But Yeah, I 100% agree with Gavin. We've just got to let more people know about it. Cool. What else can I help with? What else? What else is pressing in terms of anyone's question? Did you get my investor update? If you invested in deals, did you get the investor update I did yesterday? Sorry, with time zones and everything, I'm a little bit all over the place at the moment. Actually, my body doesn't even know whether it is jet lagged or not jet lagged because I'm working South African hours and American hours. it's like ridiculous. Um, okay, yeah, no, you're part of the inner circle. So we've got two WhatsApp groups, both called Inner Circle, where I kind of try and keep that focus just on deals. If you haven't, just WhatsApp me and I'll send you the link. Cool.
I think just one question from me, Scott, is on a tech side, obviously, is when we go or starting to actually promote the platform and wealth hackers and stuff to the communities and stuff like that, is the capacity going to be there if we still have to do it manually for the next, 4 or 5 months or 6 months, however long it takes for the school to get their affiliate up and running? Because especially, with the communities that I've got access to, I'm kind of a little bit holding back, but, I don't want to hold back anymore. But again, don't want to kill the experience on the back end if it's still going to be manual. So that's just one concern I've got.
Yeah, so my logic is if you're promoting, as Shane said, the events, then you're into the system and it's automatic and it's a bit of manual on the back end for us. But I mean that's literally, I mean, the way that works is you do VLOOKUPs in Excel. And again, I don't know exactly how Shane does it, but it's an automated process. Whether there's 10 people or 10,000 doesn't actually make any difference. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, Shane.
Yeah, exactly. It's just going back after the fact and updating where that person was or who that person was referred by.
Yeah. Thomas, for me, I'll tell you two personal stories. One was I was driving in a car with two Pam Golding agents to look at a house in Cape Town. They worked together, so they didn't just work in the same office, they were actually a team. So you know how often estate agents work together as a team. And on the way out there to the house, the one estate agent, all she did was tell me how useless the other estate agent was and how I should work with her. And then on the way back, the other estate agent, all they did was tell me how useless the other estate agent was and how I should work with her. Neither of them bothered to even talk about the property. But like my philosophy was like, I never ever want to be part of a company that's like that, and what I mean by that is where there's infighting and like whose client is it and whatever. So that's just the first principle. The second principle is having sold properties for mainly South African developers and estate agents. The way it works is they pay you 20%, and you're lucky if they ever pay you. So, like in more than 50% of the chance, you're actually fighting to get paid anyway. They virtually never pay you. But if they do pay you once, they never pay you again. Like it's a ridiculously bad system. And so what we've tried to endeavor right from the beginning is to make sure that everything is digital. There's not like that human element of, oh, I like Thomas, let's give Thomas because also people's names are often on multiple databases. So, I mean, it happens to us where someone might already be on our database, but then Ann Wilson gets them to come to an event, and then from the event, they end up signing up. We'll still pay Ann Wilson that affiliate fee because she got them to take action, not us. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, totally understand that. But, having been around in the affiliate space, sometimes, the affiliate program is set to, grow the environment and, get traction and grow the community and stuff like that. But haven't had experience with, especially ones that involve manual intervention. People get very frustrated very, very quickly because obviously some people have the intention to, okay, I want to promote this and I want to grow my income and I want to create a passive stream of income and all that kind of stuff. And then some people, when you say, hey, listen, dude, we've explained up front, it's a manual system. You have to be a little bit patient. Yeah, some people do not have the, what should we call it, the patience. And then very quickly it becomes a negative experience. And then, as you know, negative news spread faster than, an explosion.
Yep. No, look, I hear you. I think the challenge we've got, and I mean, Shane's already explained it to you, we're integrating multiple systems. So, but if there's one person in the world that's good at that, it's Shane. So I'm gonna rely on Shane. But I hear you. I think the only thing I'll say, certainly, for the next couple of months, it's not going to be perfect. Like even with the Wealth Migrate investment platform, we are at the moment having to manually update it as well. Like, because you've got to build in all the functionality and the technology between the systems. And obviously we've moved to school on purpose because it's, one of the fastest growing systems in the world. But there's, we have to work within the parameters of what they've got,
True. So what I'll do is I'll try and provide as much as information as I can of the people that I connect with and promote to, and we'll do the best we can until we've got it perfect.
Yeah. And Thomas, also, I'd love to, a side note, you and I can take this offline, but, I'm always fascinated, if someone's got an expertise, you might or might not have heard me say this 1,000 times, but it's like I always like to partner with people that know more than me. So if this is a space you know more about and everything else, I'd love to connect, because we believe that our system is obviously the affiliate system we've just spoken about and the integration needs to be evolved a bit, but everything else is working. All the platform investing is working, the university is working, everything is working. And so for me now, the real focus is just like letting the world know about it, like driving like demand through it, if that makes sense. So and if you've got expertise in that whole affiliate space, then I'm all ears on how to do it better,
Yeah, no, certainly we can have a virtual coffee, or if you do come to Cape Town, we can certainly sit down and discuss and, draw some pictures on a piece of paper, as they say.
Yeah, no, perfect. Okay, yeah, and if you could just WhatsApp me, I'll add you to sorry, I know you've put it in the chat box, but I won't remember when I'm back on my phone. The challenge I've got is when I wake up American time. What is it now? It's nearly 1 o'clock for all you guys. By the time I wake up 7 o'clock in the morning here, I've got like 100 messages. It takes me till 11 o'clock just to stop going through messages. So yeah. What else can I help with? Is there anything else? Any other questions? Any other thoughts? Do you want me to give you my rugby predictions for the weekend? I don't know about the rest of you, but it's time to stop thinking about work and start talking about rugby. But I'm devastated next week. I'm on an airplane and I literally land at 7 p.m. at night. I'm going to literally be sitting on Delta Airlines when the rugby game's on. So that was very bad planning on my part. Anyway, I heard a good saying yesterday from an American, and he said, he said to me, "Oh, that's that saying you all love." And I'm like, "Okay, what saying is that?" And he said, "How do you draw blood?" And I said, "I don't know." And he says, "You play rugby." And I was like, "Oh, wow, I haven't heard that before, but I quite like it." Anyway, I'll stop talking rugby. No one else seems to like it. So let's go back to property and investing. What else? So I've got an interesting conversation to start. So we discussed it at the mastermind on Wednesday. Two main topics we had on Wednesday at the mastermind. One was how do we help our children learn about money, invest. Paul's got this system called Leap, which is learning. So the first module is all about learning. The second module is all about earning. The third module is all about accelerating. So actually, how do you invest and get compound interest? And the fourth module is all around play. And it's quite amazing what he's done. He's built a whole animation, plus he's built a metaverse for the teenagers so they can actually engage with real people, almost like in a gamified area. So anyway, that was the one area that we spent a lot of time on. And the other one we spent quite a lot of time on was with Anthony from the family office environment, talking about where the world's going. And I don't know if you did or didn't see, but the Fed has dropped the interest rates by 50 basis points, which is quite a big thing actually, because it shows that they might have waited too long, and now the country economics, they need to move quite quickly to kind of stabilize. Plus, I don't know if you do or don't know this. I didn't know this. Not that I really follow it and care too much, but I didn't know it. Do you know there's been 4 assassination attempts on Donald Trump? 4. I knew of 1. There's been 4. So I was literally sitting with this guy yesterday that it seems to be all the capitalist people that I hang around with. There's no doubt they want Trump to win. I'm not here to have a political conversation. I'm telling you what I'm finding out on the ground. And literally this guy yesterday was like, no, we definitely want Trump to win as long as he can survive. I was like, what are you talking about? He goes, no, there's been 4 assassination attempts in the last month so the year was the first one, and there's been 3 since then, including some guy with an AK-47 in the bushes while he was trying to play golf. And I mean, am I the only retard that hasn't heard about any of this? I haven't heard. I didn't even know it was happening. Just by the way, has anyone else seen it? I'm just wondering. Again, I don't really pay attention to politics. I'm not surprised I don't know about it. But I mean, 4 assassination attempts is quite a lot.
Yeah, it is. I hadn't heard about 4, Scott. I'd heard about the one on the golf course, and I heard that was number 2. But yeah, I'm curious to know what the other 2 are.
I'm same with Archie. I also heard about the golf course one, but I haven't heard about the other 2.
Well, look, I mean, the Americans, everything's always got to be bigger and better in America. So maybe 2 became 4. But no, but what he did say, there was another gentleman in one of the crowds that had a handgun, and the Secret Service managed to get him down. So, and then the 4th one was that at a rally, 20 people that were standing behind Trump all had to go to ER and have got some sort of gas type thing. And all 20 of them had to go at the same time. But the other side of the stadium the other side of the stand or whatever didn't have anything. So I don't know. I'm not really really interested in the conspiracy theory, but I mean, clearly the guys, I mean, he's got, I'll give him one thing, he's flipping brave. If someone would told me they really do want to try and kill you, I'd be like, cool, well, I'm going to Niceland, I'm going to sit on my boat and sod this politics thing for a while. So, I don't know. It's quite surreal, actually. And the other thing I said to him, which, again, I don't want to kind of create conspiracy theory, but it's one of the reasons I'm on the ground is I like to ask questions. And I was like, well, what would happen if he got killed? What happens if that bullet had hit him? And he was like, it would definitely start in his exact words yesterday. I don't have it recorded. It was a conversation. He said it would definitely start a civil war. I was like, wow, okay. That's not good for investing.
And then, Scott, we've also got the Middle East that's getting a little bit excited at the moment as well. Eh? So that can also have a massive impact globally. And it ties into what Clem was saying around the flags. If those have been watching what's going on in the Middle East in this last 2-3 days, so that's also had its own, I think, potential impact coming forward.
What has happened? Sorry, I've been stuck in America. So
they claim the Israelis blew up a couple of digital phones in the Palestinian side, so it killed some key people and injured kids and injured people. So somehow they used technology that actually blew up the cell phones the guys were using. So now Iran and Israel obviously talking about going to war. So that has a massive impact. And it ties into what Clem was talking about when he was talking about the religious flag and how it's predominantly on his list. It's growing very quickly, I think.
Yeah, no, we live in interesting times.
Where you're focused on rugby, I love it.
I'm going to die. I might as well focus on something I enjoy. Well,
we give blood another way, hey.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you a bit of humor. Considering Craig's just scared the hell out of all of us, we're all going to die, so we might as well laugh a bit. But anyway, no. On a serious note, so I land in Atlanta on Monday morning, and they've lost the luggage. Okay, but not just my bag. They didn't load any at Tambo. They didn't load any of the bags. Apparently, the plane was too heavy, which makes no sense to me because there's only a certain number of seats and you're only allowed 20 kilos per person. So how the hell can you not load any of the bags like that? I think it's a bullshit story. But anyway, but we arrived there, so now there's no bags. So I'm in a queue for like 2 hours while we all have to tell people where we're going to get our bags. Then I try and walk around the airport to buy a SIM card. Now I've traveled a lot. I'm not being arrogant. I'm a seasoned traveler. No matter what little shithole airport I arrive in the world, I buy a SIM card before I leave because I've learned the best place to get a SIM card is at the airport. So I go to international, there's literally an ATM and I can't figure out how to make it work. Like a vending machine. I literally can't figure it out. Okay. And I don't really want to buy it off a vending machine anyway. I want to buy it off a human. Then I go to domestic and there's one shop that sells SIM cards. And the guy literally says to me, you can buy it. You can't come back and get a refund. But the last two people that bought it, it didn't work. I'm like, wow, what a sales pitch. Anyway, so eventually I'm like, okay, I'm going to download Google. So I try and buy a data bundle from Vodacom, but it's not connecting. So I try and download Google Maps because I don't know if you know, you can put it in and download the instructions. So off I go in my hire car. I know Atlanta quite well. I've been here many, many times. And I'm driving down the main highway. And let's just, for argument's sake, for most of you South Africans, I'm like in Cape Town and I'm on the N1 and I'm trying to get to like Belleville, just to use an analogy. Okay. So it's like 20, 30 Ks out of town. And I'm driving, and the thing's not giving me any updates. I mean, it's told me to get on the N1, and it's basically the I-85 here in Atlanta, but it's not telling me to go left or right. So I'm just cruising. And eventually, after about an hour, I'm like, no, bugger this. But I mean, this is a big city, but this is way too far. So I eventually pull off to a gas station. And I'm like, dude, like I need a map book. Can I buy a map book? No, we don't sell map books anymore. No one needs a map book. They've all got Google Maps. I'm like, okay, but I don't have Google Maps. Okay, how do I find a SIM card? And they're like, go to Walmart. And then so I go to Walmart. They're like, no, sorry, we can't help foreigners. Like we can only help you if you've got a local phone. I literally have never felt so lost in all my life. I was like, well, what do? I'm stuck. I can't get a map book. I can't get a SIM card. I don't know where to go. Anyway, I eventually just decided to pay, like Vodacom. I finally got it sorted. And I had gone 170 kilometers in the wrong direction. I landed at 8 o'clock in the morning and I got to my Airbnb at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And the point of my story is it shows you how reliant we've become on technology. Like I couldn't buy a map book. They don't exist. Okay. Which is how we used to do it 20 years ago. But without data, you can't use any of the tools. And it was literally like, well, that's it. I'm going to have to live in wherever the hell I am because I can't get back to where I need to be. So it's made me laugh of how reliant we are on technology.
And I think we're becoming more and more so, Scott. I had the privilege yesterday of going up to Edinburgh. So those of you know I'm in the UK. So I was up to Edinburgh because I need a visa to go to Holland next month. And geez, it's all technology based. Booking your train ticket, getting on the train, getting on the tram, getting a bus. It's all technology driven. So in the UK, if you don't have access to data, you kind of, as you say, you can walk wherever you want to go, but you'll be lost.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all data driven. So we're becoming more and more, especially this kind of first world space. Everything is technology data driven.
Well, I mean, to be honest, like Craig, the other thing for me, and this is mainly for like people still living in South Africa, I just like so appreciate where I live. Okay, like I walk into Vodacom and I talk to a human and I give them my cell phone and they fix my problem. At Walmart, it's like, sorry, no, we're not. We can sell you it, but we can't touch you. We can't talk to you. You must phone the call center person. I'm like, excuse me, I've just explained to you I don't have a cell phone. How am I supposed to call them? She said you can go home and phone them from a telephone. I'm like, have we not established I don't have a home or a telephone? Like, so she was quite kind. So she says, okay, you can use the Walmart phone. But then I'm talking to a bloody robot, not a human, like a press 1, press 6. I was like, oh, I just miss going to Vodacom and going, sir, ma'am, here's my phone, fix. like I don't know, just there's childhood, not childhood, home comforts that where we are so backward that I still love. Anyway, speaking of data, are there any potential investment deals in data centers? No, there's a webinar a while back that was raised. Ian, from your words, what's that saying? From your mouth to God's ears. We are desperately trying to find data centers. In fact, I actually woke up this morning. I don't even know why, but I was literally thinking about it in bed and going, we should put out a message on the community to see if people can bring us data centers, like anyone knows partners, whatever. We've been exploring with two partners. Alex actually literally had a meeting yesterday. I didn't attend the meeting. So I haven't even seen the data pack, but it's the guy that we did the webinar with, Anthony, who's actually a shareholder in our company. So yeah, I don't know the timing, but sometime this year they're now telling us that we hopefully will have a data center. There was a potential one in Atlanta, which is one of the reasons I came here, but they're waiting for their financing or something through BlackRock before they want to go to the market. So yeah, we desperately would like to get a data center, but as of yet, we don't have one like bedded down. So if anyone knows anyone with data centers, there's an article that came out with BlackRock that they're investing. I don't actually have no idea how to find it for you, but they're investing $100 million. Where's it gone now? $100 billion in data centers. Where's it gone now? Oh, yeah, well, check this. $30 billion, sorry. So yeah, this is the train that I'd love to get on. But we're battling at the moment to find. I mean, it's a bit hard when Microsoft and BlackRock are putting 30 billion in, and we want to say, like, do you want 500,000? Yeah, cheers, Craig. No problem. If there's anything else, I know we're on the hour. I'm happy to help if there's anything else for anyone else. Okay, well, the only other thing I just wanted to say before we switch off, if you haven't been part of it already, where's it gone? We've got a masterclass on next Tuesday. Sorry, Wednesday. Tuesday's a holiday. On diversification. So the 5 important lessons from the wealthiest, most sophisticated investors. So that's next sorry, not Tuesday. I keep saying Tuesday, but we originally planned Tuesday, but we didn't know it was a holiday. Well, I didn't know it was a holiday. So anyway, it's Wednesday. So next Wednesday, there. So yeah, back to the affiliate thing, share it with your friends. You can go to that first promoter, let people know about it. This has been one of our more powerful masterclasses that we offer, because it's sort of 90 minutes. We take people through diversification, what they need to know, how do they deal with it in uncertain times, and how do they get results. Okay, 2 more. Oh, Shane, thanks for putting it. Rodney, I did ask about the calculators on Carryfit and Austin. The Austin deal, what caused problems for the team, and I don't really understand why this is so difficult, it's a 3 years and 2-month deal, and for some reason that messes up the calculators, so they're having to figure out the algorithms as to how to do that. And then on the Carryfit opportunity, they were just waiting for some updated numbers in terms of it. I did speak to Mersha. She's aware of it, and they are trying to action it. So it hasn't been forgotten. But for some reason, those 2 deals didn't quite fit the mold. I'm sorry, I don't fully understand, but they didn't quite fit the mold just to be able to plug and play into the calculator. So they've had to because I basically said, if you've got 3 years and 2 months, it's effectively 30, it's 38 over 36 or whatever. Just do the maths, just proportionately. I don't know if you get my math. There's always a way. If you remember at school, it would be 38 over 36 equals 12, and then you times. I can't quite remember, but there's a way to do it to create the fraction. They need to figure that out. Cool. Okay, Michael, thanks for the kind words. Rodney, perfect. Yep, we're working on getting that sorted. You did put that in the wealth hackers, and I did actually immediately ask. Sorry, that's actually my fault. I asked, but I didn't come back with input. So, the team told me they were working on it, so I kind of left it. But I should have actually come back and just answered your question. Cool. Okay, everyone. We'll have a wonderful weekend. Hold thumbs for the rugby, and hold thumbs for me as well. I'm in Atlanta. I'm debt collecting off a lawyer here that's got about $1.2 million of clients' money. And I've come here to try and help the clients. And yeah, so it's one of the more weird things I've done in my life, and turning up at a guy's house and knocking on his door. Anyway, so if you don't see me again, I'm buried in a fence in a ditch somewhere in Atlanta.
Good luck, Scott.
Anyway, cheers, everyone. Have a nice weekend.